Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So, back here starting to work my Fseconomy. I had talked about doing the series just basically quickly showing what I was doing, and as I did things throughout the week, just let you know. So I'm leaving Bogota here in Colombia. I have found a pretty short job, 54 nautical miles, where we've got 9 passengers, so not a bad total. $6,455 with our 204J. Now I know I said I wasn't going to show a lot of Flight Simulator, but I couldn't resist. This is what our plane looks like. This is what I've been flying. You can see I've even got the tail number on the plane, so we're all set. But we've got a carbon black plane here, and that is what I am flying in my organization here at Fseconomy. So I'm going to go do this run, and I'll be back when I'm done. All right, here we go. $12,469. So we made $5,548.86. Quite the payday. Not bad. But as you can see, I've gone 18 hours or something between flights. So, again, my pay or my rental of this plane for the lease is $30,000 a month. So I've got to see if I'm going to be able to do that, or if between all the other flying I'm doing, maybe it just doesn't make sense to lease a plane. But I do enjoy the Cessna, and again, this really didn't take very long. As you can see, it was 18 minutes, and I made $5,000, so can't complain. Alright, so my challenge here is I think I'm going to have flights that really aren't going to make a lot of money. So I need to keep, if I'm trying to get back to the U.S., because otherwise I'm just flying here in Colombia. And it's a lot of mountains, and plus I just I've enjoyed flying in the U.S., and I think that gets me a lot more jobs. I think there's just a lot more airports closer together. The only thing really headed northwest, which is kind of what I need to do, because I'm going ahead and obviously trying to head up through Central America. I think I need to add this, and then if I go here, it's a VIP, it's a government charter, it's 109 miles. It's not going to get me much here, unfortunately, but I think this is what I need to go with. And so I'm going to go from where I am now, Jose Celestino Mutis in Mariquita, Colombia. That is where I am leaving from, and I'm going to Sierra Kilo Oscar Tango Otu in Remedios, Colombia, which, as you can see, is basically 109 nautical miles, almost straight north. And I don't have too many great options from there either. This is what we're going to go ahead and do. So I'm going to get into the plane, get this run, and I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so we made $816. So basically we had the ground crew fee, and that was it. So it wasn't too bad. So now we're here at SKOT, and having scouted ahead a little bit, I am going to take these 2 items. So coffee, they're both coffee, but one's going as a passenger and one's going as a shipment. So one's cargo, I think, and one is not. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to add that, and that is just 66 nautical miles. So I'm going to go ahead and fly that with the intent that I think I've found an exciting leg to go ahead and take us towards Central America. So if I give you an example, so we're here at SKOT, we're going down here to SKRG, but we're heading over, we have come from like way down here. So that's the flight I'm going to take, just to give you a bit of perspective. Alright, so bringing that coffee here made me $1,386. So, and you can see basically, over an hour or so, we've gone ahead and done these couple flights. All right, but now what I am looking at here is I am looking at these passengers here, all of these to MP0H. So I am going to add those to my flight. So that will give me a full plane, 10 passengers. I've got 2 days to do this. I can't fly it right now. It's a little bit longer, but once again, we're talking $6,000 here. So that is good, but again, this is a block of 7 passengers that, we have to take together. So you can't break things up. I wanted to spin down what I had because otherwise I'm pulling out fuel. So I'm down to 60%, but I should be fine. It's 200 some miles. The problem is it seems that this, I don't know, maybe it's correct here. It wasn't calculating really well before, and I was getting some terrible results. That's how I initially thought I could take that plane out. Before I stop here, I kind of want to show you, if I can, where I'm going. So again, we are at Jose Maria Cordova Airport in Rio Negro, Colombia. We had to come in with an IFR approach. It was pretty cloudy. It was a bit of a challenge, but I made it. There was no ILS. There would have been from another direction. So really, I probably should have swung around, but took a chance and it worked. Got me down faster. And I'm assuming the person who owns this plane can kind of watch what I'm doing and see what's happening. Alright, so I had to do a little bit of searching, but this is where we're headed. So it's a little strip here. In Fseconomy, and this is where I don't understand, like if it just creates its own numbers, it's listed as MP0, the number 0H is where we're going, and it's Aeropuerto de Punta Cocos, which is on a little island here off the coast of Panama. So, and we are here now at SKRG at Jose Maria Cordova, right there. So we're going to be going from there to there, and that's the 200. But, should be a pretty fun flight, but it's going to take me a little bit of time. It's, probably going to be an hour or more, so I'm going to pick that up probably tomorrow, just to get this done. And, we'll see then what we can take from there. This may be, unfortunately, a tiny airport that then suddenly creates not much. But, hopefully, I can just get here on the mainland. I think the Panama Canal is kind of right here. So I believe that is, where things are. So I'm not quite sure. I really don't know for certain, but it sure looks like that would make sense. But then the goal is, just keep heading on up here, up through Mexico, and get up here to the USA, where I'm more familiar, and, we'll see where things take us. But kind of the crazy thing, so you can see here, it's MP0H. But one of the things that's interesting is, yeah, it exists in Flight Simulator, but in Navigraph, like, it's not an airport that's there. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do something here. I don't know if I can or not. So finished the flight here with these 10 passengers. So we've gone up to just over 20,000. Again, did 5,461. And we are here, and man, was it way more exciting than I would have liked it to be. So The next question, of course, is what's next? So I've come across a tool, not necessarily going to show it, but you know, if it's something you're into with Fseconomy, certainly something you can utilize. Someone had recommended somewhere something called FSE Planner. And this thing basically goes and looks around at the loads that are available at the time. So you're only able to pull the data X amount of times over a given time period, so it's not unlimited, but basically you can find yourself some flights. And so that is what I'm going to do. And so at this point I am looking for things that are going to MPOE. So here we go. So I'm looking for these 3 passengers. And you can see that's 68 nautical miles, and that's going to kind of continue up, so we're kind of going to dance around a little bit. But the thing that this put together is I'm going to take a short hop from MPOE over to another airport, basically come backwards a little bit, probably not very far, I would guess less than 20 nautical miles, maybe 30 if even. And then I'm going to pick up a bunch of things at that airport and then continue on, and basically it's going to have me drop things off at 2 more airports. But all in all, it should give me some healthy income. So let me go ahead at this point. You know, you can see as far as planes that are here, definitely lots of things if people want to work off of this location here, off this island in Panama, including this Bombardier Dash 8 that it's pretty darn expensive, but I'm assuming that's a pretty hefty size plane. But in any event, I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to go here, and then that is going to get me everything I need there. We've got 363 gallons of fuel. All of this should, in theory, take me about 219 gallons, so I should be fine, but I may end up, you know, filling up at some other airport where it makes sense. Although I will say, this is pretty tempting at 385, so you know what, I think I'm just going to go ahead right now, and we're gonna add ourselves some fuel, because there's really not a reason not to. So I am going to choose Eastern Hops, and I am at 363. I'm going to get myself to 645, so that will take things down a bit, but anything under $4 I would say is pretty good. So if I have that opportunity, I'm going to take advantage of that, and that gets me there. But I'm going to now go ahead, I'm going to fly this little hop over to MPOE. Hopefully it'll work out pretty well, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here we are, 21,000. We did $2,000 getting there. Alright, and now we want to go to MPT0, or MPTO, MPT0, so Michael, Papa, Tango, Oscar is what I want, which is in Panama City, Panama, so it is literally 11 nautical miles away, and that is more the large airport there. So there is nothing to take there, because nothing is going there. So you can see everything's 68, 27. So I'm flying there without anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so now we're on to the next leg. And so what I am looking for here, because I think this is a longer direction, I am going to, from MPTO to MRAN, and then MRCH. But I think these are a little ways away here. So there's MRCH. So yes, I'm looking for this $4,900 of cargo. And then from MRCH, I am taking basically 9 passengers. I see these are VIPs. I'm like, why wouldn't I take these? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that should give me everybody I can possibly take. And now if I go to my flight, you know, I've got 9 passengers plus, 382 kilograms of cargo. So you can see there, out of the 500, I've got a good portion there. And 4,900, not bad. But basically, I'm going to then fly to MRAN first. So we're going to drop this cargo off, because you can see it's 319 and then it's 325. Like, they're really close together. Now again, this is as the crow flies from here, so it's probably going to be another 11, another 11 nautical mile flight or something like that. But you can see, we're at 13,000 there. So, overall, we'll do okay, I think, between everything we have. And right now, we're just at that 21,000. So if I can get $10,000, $12,000 from the end of this, it's going to be pretty good. But in the end, basically the way it works is, 10% is going to be a ground fee. So I'm going to lose about 1,300. So yes, I'm going to get about 12,000. But that will then get me in a position here pretty early in the month on the 8th, where I'm basically set at that point for my fee, and everything else I do this month is kind of gravy. And keep in mind, I didn't start with this plane until about the 6th, maybe the 5th. But either way, not a bad outcome so far. But we've got enough fuel, so we should be pretty good. So I am going to go ahead and fly. This is going to take me a little bit of time, so I'm going to have to see if I have time to do it at this point or not. But either way, I've got 2 days, basically, to do it. I'll definitely get it done by then. So I'll see you when I get to... Well, let me get this into Navigraph. Alright, so yes, this is from Panama City, Panama to Arenal, Costa Rica. So that is where we are headed. And that will, again, be where we're delivering that cargo. And then we'll be taking the passengers kind of toward the coast. So it's still going to be in Costa Rica. But I will see you when I get into Costa Rica. Alright, so we've made it here. So you can see we delivered the 4,900. And again, 10% of that goes to penalty, and then we're going to be moving the rest of these next time I fly and get them out here in a bit. So we have made it to MRCH, so Chacarita, Costa Rica. So we are here on the coast, kind of giving you a view here of where we're at. We came from there, and then kind of the flight originated here from this island. We basically then flew there, took the short hop there, then came all the way over here, and then down here. So that's been the little stint that we've taken at this point. Almost 33,000. So with those added passengers, for 32 nautical miles, we got 6,900 now. So I see there's a little bit more taken out. So we had a booking fee. And see, I don't understand. Maybe it's passengers, because the first thing we delivered was cargo. So if I go back here, when I had passengers, see, I didn't have a booking fee with them. So yeah, I don't know what determines if we get a booking fee or not. I might need to look into that. But that has been part of the fun of this economy, It's just trying to understand what's going on. But right now, I'm going to have to step away, so I'm going to worry about jobs in the future, because obviously things could expire. I'm not quite sure when the next time I'm going to be able to hop in the plane here will be. I've got other flights I want to do for other things, the other VAs I'm in and so forth, but at least I feel good that, I've got the cash balance I need, and it looks like maybe it'll be sustainable. It didn't take much, as you can see. I mean, we did have probably 10 flights, but it wasn't anything crazy. And, once again, we really started on the 6th, so in 2 days, we've kind of gotten the money, but we also were at 12,000, so I can't really indicate fully that we've done that. But as long as we stay up there, and once I get enough of a balance, it won't matter much. But we will see where we're at next time. Alright, back in here again. So I've got a little bit of a leg pulled together here. So we are going to go ahead and run in this direction. Although I will tell you, these seem interesting, but I'm not sure why it doesn't like them. Oh, it's 325. Never mind. I saw 88 and 99. I'm like, they're within 11 miles. But never mind. This is a long, long way. So this gets me, like, this is where... Okay, yeah, that moves me all the way back to Panama. So definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, I think that's the airport I came from. So we're going to take this little piece first. So I'm going to assign that to my flight. Get us to an airport. Decent amount of fuel. Let's see if we refuel here. Yeah, 340 is going to be hard to beat. So we're going to go with sky colors. And I'm going to put fill to 800. I'm going to go up. So that almost gets me down to where I can't afford things anymore, but once again, we've got flights that we're going to take here. So we are here, $218. Took 11 minutes, not very long. And then what I'm grabbing here now are 400 kilograms of cargo and 4 passengers. So you can see we've got a couple stops to make. So I'm going to start moving along on that. But the first one's going to be MNLN, which is in Nicaragua, and then this other one is in El Salvador. So you can see moving through a couple more countries, but there weren't really a lot of short hops here in the right direction that got us where we needed to go. So that is the movement that I'm making next. So landed here at MNLN. If we go look at the log, over 34,000, so we got 3,100 because we basically dropped off that cargo that we had. Now we're going to have passengers. Got quite some time to get them done, but it's a group of 4 passengers for 3,000. So should be pretty good, and that will get us another, as you can see, 151 nautical miles closer to the US. So we're just about ready to be heading into Mexico. I'm thinking there might be a few more hops there that we can do that are shorter, but maybe not, because one thing I am doing at this point is I'm trying to make sure that they have asphalt or concrete runways. Again, I think trying to land this on something else would just be a bad idea. All right, so we're just under 60 or 75% of fuel, but not doing too bad overall. So I'm running this last leg of the 4 passengers over, so just 151 nautical miles, which is not that short, but going to go ahead and try to get that completed. So there we are. So I made a mistake. I was actually flying from MNLN to MSSS. MROC was where we had picked up the passengers. They just were going to this farther location. So you can see 43 minutes. So definitely took a bit of time. But at this point, that does wrap up the week. So we ended here on about just shy of 37,000. Sitting here at, like I said, MSSS. Not a huge list of things. Also not a huge amount of things to work with, but once again, or planes to work with for folks. But it looks like, there's another Cessna here that someone can rent, and once again, though, it's got that bonus that if they're not flying it toward home, then they'd have a problem. So I'm hoping I can find some stuff that's heading in the right direction. It doesn't, well, it looks like maybe these folks might be my best bet, but they're not lasting very long, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do a whole lot in that time frame in the next day or two. So we shall see, but we've at least gotten that far, and that is what the first week of me using Fseconomy has turned into as far as the workload. Once again, most importantly, just drop me a comment. Is this even something that you're interested in? Or since it's really more, text and information, and is it just not compelling viewing? I'm hoping things are short enough that, maybe they're going to be 5 or 10 minute episodes for the week, and then anyone who's interested can just kind of listen and, hey, this is where I went. Because to some degree, yes, it gives me a reason to fly, but it's just kind of going to be pretty random once I get up into the U.S., and it'll just be kind of bouncing around, and maybe we'll go up into Canada, whatever, but I don't know that I'm going to be doing a whole lot of travel outside of that right now. Part of the reason is I think there's just going to be a lot more options for things up there, but I could be wrong. Fseconomy may be a little bit different. But in any event, that is it. And if you are not a subscriber or have not liked the video, please consider those things. They do help with the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you next time.